Now, at the upcoming launch of the new Proton Saga, you may have seen this on the brochure. It's saying Atkinson cycle on the engine, claiming an improved 14.04% of efficiency for the CVT models. What does it mean by Atkinson cycle? Well, to be very frank, it's a bit of a misdemeanor. It's a misnaming system which was done by Toyota in the early 20th century for the Prius hybrids and the Pri series. In case you're wondering, the plural for Prius is Pri. English. Naming strategy, probably for marketing purposes, because what it should be called is a non-turbocharged millicycle engine. However, that is a story for another time. Let's focus on what does it mean on the new Proton Saga. We all know how does a normal auto cycle or normal 4-stroke engine works. It's always suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Where the intake comes in with the air, and the piston squeezes the thing, the spark ignites the mixture, and the exhaust goes out. On the Atkinson cycle, what happens is the intake valve is modified. The timing of the intake valve is held on. So the intake valve actually opens and closes much later in the cycle. So during compression, the intake valve is still open, allowing for a little bit of air and petrol and fuel to go back into the intake valve. It means that the intake is never really in a vacuum. The reason to do that is because to improve the efficiency and the effective stroke of the engine. This also means that you use less fuel, and you can use much less fuel to actually burn a cleaner, leaner burn. The Atkinson cycle also has its issues when it comes to power or the lack of it, which is why normally it is supplemented by a supercharger, a turbocharger, or a hybrid system. In the case of a Proton Saga, there's no hybrid. So does it mean that the car is very underpowered? No. When it comes to new engines, they can cycle between an Atkinson cycle, and a normal auto cycle, because the problem with Atkinson cycle engine is that they cannot rev reliably beyond 5,000 RPM reliably, and they have very little power. An example would be the Toyota Prius C. That 1.5 litre engine only produces 73 horsepower, and we haven't seen power figures like this on the Proton Saga since the 1980s with their Proton Saga Classic Magma and 12-valve carburetted engines, which will be way too underpowered for the modern era. The new Proton Saga 1.5 litre engine would be running on the Atkinson cycle engine on low loads or during cruising or during idle to improve the fuel efficiency and use less fuel, while on normal circumstances it will be reverting back to the auto cycle, which is why it can produce 120 PS and the amount of torque that it has right now. Now you know.